Hello, and welcome to Asymptomatic Battles with Rolkatsuki and a Bourgogne. So he's got Schlieffen, Bourgogne, Pommern, Haragumo, and an Udaloy, which is Asymptomatic Battles is, well, I assume everyone's tried this mode. I personally wasn't very impressed, but it's basically 5 humans versus 12 bots. I personally think it should have been 4 humans, 2 divs versus 12 bots. I truly think that's what would have made this mode better. Now, Katsuka's real lucky. And the ones I've ran, I've mostly seen Germans. He's got a less German comp than you usually see. You would normally see like 2 to 3 Kurfürsts, maybe 1 or 2 Schlieffens, and then maybe a random destroyer. But it's mostly just secondary German battleships from what I've seen. There goes his engine boost. Now he can outrun the Pommern if he really wants to. The Pommern's just going to be a slow ship compared to the Bourgogne. The Bourgogne needs speed. As long as you're using your speed in the Bourgogne, you're playing the ship right. If you're not using the speed, you're not using it right. Now, Bourgogne is a very interesting ship. It's the unnerfed Alsace. Before they nerfed the Tier 9 Alsace, this is what the Bourgogne felt like. Or what she felt like, was the Bourgogne. So they took the unnerfed version of the Alsace and made it into a new ship, the Bourgogne. They're basically the exact same class, basically. Just one's the nerfed version, which is the tech line, and Bourgogne's the unnerfed version. So if you had played the unnerfed version when the French line first came out, or you missed it and you want to know how that felt, get the Bourgogne. Now, it only gets 380s, so you can't overmatch, well, most of what you're facing. I mean, he does have hybrids coming in on him, bombers, but they're not going to do anything. Bourgogne still has enough AA to shoot down these planes. Let's be honest. He's basically playing it, and odds are he's got a full secondary build on this ship. Now, in randoms, in this mode, a full secondary build will work. But in randoms, you don't want to run a full secondary build on a Bourgogne. That's just not... You want to emphasize the guns and the speed in randoms. In this kind of mode, you can work with the secondaries. But you literally see when he's in close quarters combat how fast his reload. I mean, we're at 11 seconds minus adrenaline rush kicking in. And you just see how the damage is just pumping out of these guns. The reload on these guns are very decent. Like you see, it went back to 12 seconds. And that was because he had his reload booster on. But with close quarters combat and his reload booster, it goes down to 11 seconds. And with the reload booster, you can usually get about 2 to 3 salvos out. So you want to do what Katsuki did and basically get, well, perfect broadsides. And you can catch a lot of targets off guard in randoms with that reload booster. I mean, I've got like a 60-some% win rate in my Bourgogne. I love my Bourgogne. I think it's one of the best steel ships you can get. Now, he's lucky he's against Bismarck. If this was a Schlieffen, the Schlieffen would win because he'd been pinning the Bourgogne all over the place. But he's up to 80,000 damage right now. And see, he gets about 14,000 there. Double fires, the DCP, so... But I'm surprised he's doing a secondary meme, but... I mean, obviously you don't want to run a Bourgogne with a secondary meme. And I do plan on doing an advanced Bourgogne guide for players. Because Bourgogne takes time to play. She's not like most battleships. And she doesn't feel like she plays like the normal French line either. I personally feel like Bourgogne is something different than what the whole French line is about. Ooh. Now he is gonna beach. Hopefully they're not looking at him, because they could punish him. But the turret traverse on these guns is really, like, fast. Like, almost like cruiser rotation. And right there, 21,000. Now, if you put like one of the legendary or seasoned commanders on that have the increased turret traverse on a Bourgogne, it becomes even more powerful. Bourgogne is just... There is nothing wrong with this ship. Absolutely nothing wrong besides its small health pool. But if you can maximize, like, he's probably going to use Real Booster on this flat, right? I mean, the thing is basically broadside to him. Right there, 28,000. He doesn't even have to use a Real Booster. But in terms of, like, opportunities, this would probably be one of the best times to use it. 2 Vladivostoks broadside to him. And he's up to 220,000. Now, obviously, these matches are rare and random. Let's be honest. These kind of damage matches are rare. But in a well-played Bourgogne, you could easily crack 150,000 easily per match. It's that easy of a ship to use once you understand her. Ooh, 26,000. Now, this is a really good display of, you know how he's constantly been moving. He's using the speed. Again, unfortunately, these are bots, so if these were real players, he would have been focused. Plus, his team hasn't been that aggressive compared to what I've seen. But this is a pretty good, indication of how to do the Bourgogne. Especially at close quarters combat. And you see, against these broadside Germans, it'll chunk them. Like, it'll chunk Schlieffens, it'll chunk Kerfers. Any battleship it faces at broadside in randoms, it chunks. If you aim right. If you aim just like that salvo, you'll be doing 8,000, but on a perfectly broadside target, it's not uncommon to do over 10k plus. And if you catch it in a broadside with the reload booster, you could be looking at about 30,000 damage. $32,000. There is no reason why he could potentially cross the 400k mark if Schlieffen hadn't killed that. Unfortunately, his team finally, pitches in and picks up the rest before he's able to cross the 400k mark. is how to really play the Bourgogne. I mean, as far as speed goes. I'll be doing more advanced guides in the future, for sure.